So, as promised, this is the video sort of documentation of how I solved the Fristileaks. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's right there at the top, the Fristileaks 1.3 vulnerable VM. Um and of course the goal is to get the root and read the flag file. This is open just so I can get the IP address, which I'll again show how I can get that in the Kali as well, but also so that it's running and I can actually interact with it. The majority, if not all of this video, is going to be taking place in here, my Kali. So let me sign into this and we'll get started here. Sign in. I wonder if... Alright, so how's the view? Let me check the view for that for you. That seems fine. I'm wondering if I make it full screen, if that will affect how you guys see it. I don't know. I'm going to leave it as is. And yeah, so let's open up a terminal here. And the first thing I'm going to do is we can already see what the IP address is. We have access to the machine. It does say the IP address right there. But to show that I can actually find it myself, I'm going to do a sudo net discover. This is going to ask me for the password. Default password for Kali is just Kali. At least for virtual boxes. It's going to run. You know what I should have done, and it's going to get there. What I should have done is specified a range so it comes up immediately, but we'll get there in a minute. I believe we're 5.6, right? So when this gets to 0.56.0, it will scan that subnet. So let's see. Yep, there it is. So 5.6.101. Again, that was the machine we were looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a scan on it using Nmap to find out what ports are open on the machine and what could be potentially vulnerable for me to exploit in some way. So I'm going to do sudo the Nmap command. Put a few switches in here. This one's going to show me, or it's going to run some default scripts that come with Nmap to enumerate and find more vulnerabilities rather than just list the ports. And I'm also going to run SV, which is going to show some version numbers for the services that are found. I'm also going to do that, which is going to scan all common ports. And I'm going to specify the IP address that I'm scanning, so 192.168.56.101. So this might take a minute, or it might be immediate. I don't know. We'll find out when I hit enter. I'm actually just going to do a spacebar here to see the status. 0% done, of course. I should have waited at least a minute. So this might take a minute. So in the meantime, I will try and maybe explain further as to what all of this is if you're not familiar. So what this is and what this virtual box is it's what's called a CTF challenge, capture the flag challenge. And the meaning of that is there is a flag or multiple flags. If I remember correctly, this box only has one flag, and it's at the root level, which is the highest permission level. And your goal is to exploit the vulnerabilities of the machine and get that flag. And the flag could be, it's normally a text file, and it just has like a hash value or something. It's basically, if you were doing this as like a challenge or a competition or something, you would input that string of text as proof that you got it. So it really doesn't mean much. Let's do another status check here. 36.10%. Alright, so there's not much I can really do while I'm waiting for this to finish. I gotta wait for it to finish, and then it will continue. I like this one a lot. I've done 4 of these kind of challenges now. and they're all the same in the sense that you're looking for flags, but some of them are more. Some of them feel more like hacking related, like more technical, and some of them feel more like a puzzle, which I think is really fun. This one I think fits that puzzle category. Well, yes, you do need technical knowledge. A lot of it isn't really needed. It's more of looking at stuff, figuring things out, reverse engineering some things, and getting to the overall conclusion of the root user. Where you do need to know obviously some technical things, but it's not the main premise of this box, at least. I've done, like I said, 3 or 4 of them now, and this was one of the easier boxes, although it has not been the easiest box I did last week, and it was more so of a what made that one so easy is that one was called the planet's Mercury. Is made it so easy. A lot of it was streamlined in terms of there was really only one way you can go about doing things. And here we go, and our scan finished. So I'll just finish what I was saying real quick, and I believe the flags in that one were actually hints as to what you should do. So the flag was not like a random string. The flag was like, oh, maybe there's something here. So it was kind of leading you to do it. It's more of like a teaching box rather than a do it sort of box, if that makes sense. So this showed me a few things here. This shows me that there's only one open port, which is port 80, which is the service, which is the default port for service HTTP, and we're running the version of Apache HTTPD 2.2.15. So what I'm actually going to do, and what the first thing I always do when I see a web server being ran, is I open up a browser. Sorry, I'm struggling with words after talking for so much. Because I've done this before, I'm actually going to clear out my history because I don't want any hints or any spoilers in the search bar when I am typing things out. So there we go. I should be good now, and I'm just going to type in the address 2.168.56.101, and let's see where this takes us. Here we go. So we are at the page that this is hosting. And we're going to see here that there's not much here. There's a Fristileaks about how they over this. It goes to a Twitter page. A little bit of a spoiler alert, and it keeps this video a lot shorter. That Twitter page doesn't have anything on it that is of necessity to this box and to completing this. So all there is there's this little image here that says keep calm and drink Fristy. And again, I don't know what Fristy is. I've never heard of that drink or anything. It must be something foreign or something I've just never heard of. But I don't know. We also see here that there are some that our script scan actually found some directories as well. So we found robots.txt, and in there we found 3 disallowed entries of cola, CC, and beer. If we go to any of those, let's go to cola. Kind of a funny meme picture here. This is not the URL you were looking for, and it says the same thing for these. So because it's probably pretty uncommon and stuff like that, but something I thought to do is, hey, those are all drinks, aren't they? I've never heard of CC either, but I'm assuming it's another drink. I'm going to go to /Fristy. That is a drink, and that's kind of the name of this box, and it fits the theme of their directory, so let's go there. This takes us to a page which is a lot more interesting. Oh, first I should go back here. Sorry, I should go back to the main page, and I should have checked the source. It was the first thing I did when I saw this the first time. So I'm going to come to the source here, and it basically just says, welcome to the box. And it's to read the special flag file in the root directory, and the time frame, it should be doable in about 4 hours. This video is not going to be 4 hours. It's very possible to do it much faster. I think it took me maybe 45 minutes to figure everything out. This is a beginner box, so even though it's easy to solve, it is aimed at people who don't have much knowledge of doing this stuff, so the 4 hours might just be a compensation for the lack of skill, for better word, of the people attempting it. But yeah, so let's go back to that Fristy directory. And we see here that welcome to Fristileaks admin portal. You got a little picture here and a member login for a username and password. Now we don't have any we don't have any sort of, I can try like default things like admin and admin. And we got redirected here saying check login at PHP, wrong username or password. Alright, whatever. You know, so let's try something like an obviously wrong username. Maybe a password of Fristy, just because the box, you know, whatever. Wrong username or password. Let's throw in a, let's do like admin. Let's throw in a backtick here. See if we got any sort of SQL errors. Maybe it's SQL injectable. And we don't, so leave to believe it's not SQL injectable. So what I do now is I got nothing. I can't really brute force the username and password. I have word lists, but I like to keep that as a last resort, see what I can gather as information first. And exactly what I did with the first page, I'm going to do now. I'm going to inspect the source. And so we have a lot here, actually. So I like to go top down, so we're going to go to the head first. And we see that there is a to-do comment. We need to clean up this we need to clean this up for production. I'll have some junk in here to make testing easier by easy peasy. Alright. So I'm going to assume Easy Peasy is a user, and that could be our username. We also have a meta name description, and the content is a super elite password login test page, and we used base 64 encoding. Hold on, there's more there because I see the dots. Let's expand this a little bit. Come on. Alright, whatever. Base 64 encoding for images so they are in line with the HTML. I read somewhere on the web that that's a good way to do it. I'm not sure that's a good idea or not. I don't know much about that, but I'm going to assume no because he put it right here. And we're going to welcome to the admin portal. I think this is just the rest of it. Yeah. But here is a base 64 encoding of what he said was an image. The reason I know it's base 64 is because commonly base 64 that ends in a I don't know if it's one that ends in multiple and like has a multiple of 3 characters or doesn't have that. But anyway, they end in these equal signs pretty often. So if he didn't say it, it's pretty obvious to tell us the equal signs. So I'm actually going to come here and I'm going to copy all of this. I like to leave out the spaces because sometimes I can mess that up. Come here, and because he said it was an image file, I'm going to echo this. I'm going to pipe, which means I'm going to do this command at the same time that I'm executing that. Echo by itself will just print it back to the screen. But because I'm going to decode it in base 64 first, it'll change it into its plain text. Then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send the output to, I will call this admin image dot png because it's an image file, so we need png, jpg, whatever. I'm going to put png. I'm going to enter here. And now we have an image file. So if I now go to my file system, and should have saved it to my, come on, open up. Alright, open the folder. There we go. It should have saved it to my home directory here. Here we go. Admin image.png, and as you see, it changed it to plain text. If we open this, we got that string of K's and E's. Alright. Why am I still grabbing this? Okay. So, I am going to use easy peasy, oops, as my username. I'm going to try this as the password. Move this out of the way so I can see the whole thing. K E capital K lower K E K K E K K E K K E K K E K. All right, super annoying password to type. But whatever. And let's log in, see if it worked. I must have typed something wrong because that was supposed to work. Did I spell the username wrong? Let me just copy this because I can. I'm unfortunately going to have to retype this. Okay. Log in. There we go. Login successful. And we see we have one thing we can interact with, which is upload file. So let's open this in a new tab. We have had a thing in the past of him doing things. Let's inspect this to make sure there's nothing special here. Nothing special here. Alright, let's X out of this. Whatever. Select image to upload. Whenever I see a direct file upload, I like to see if I can upload something that's not exactly friendly. So what I like to do is I will want to, I believe what I'm looking for is in this, is there, the Cowie actually comes with some preloaded malware. And what I'm looking for is to spawn a reverse shell, which will basically give me shell access back to the website. So yep, it's in web shells, that directory. If you can't look, it's right here. OS here. I want to look for PHP OS and PHP reverse shell right here. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I have to edit this a little bit, I'm going to copy it. Reverse shell.php to home / I'll call it payload.php. There we go. So now if I cd back to my main directory, or home directory as it's properly called on the OS, I have payload.php right here. Now I'm going to go into that real quick and we can see what it is a little bit. It's a very long thing here, but it basically says yada yada. It's basically a bunch of I'm losing words. It's made so that if you were able to successfully upload this and execute it on a vulnerable machine that knows PHP or runs PHP, it will send a shell back to you. So as you see, I have to change some things here. I have to change the port and I have to change the IP. The IP is the most important thing. So this right now it's looking at 127.0.0.1. That's not exactly what we want. We want the IP address of my machine, which I am pretty sure is .100. What I am actually going to do is I'm going to quit out of this. I'm going to save and quit out of this real quick, and I'm going to do a quick ifconfig. I am, yep, .100. All right. So I can go back into this. And my port. What port should I use? I can use any port that's available that's not like a default port for any service. I don't want to mess anything up on my end. So I'm going to do something like common is 4444. Someone's going to do that. It's just like, it's a known open port. It's all fours. It's nice to look at, and it's common to use in hacking purposes. So I'm just going to do that. All right. So now I have that all written, saved, and all good. I'm going to browse for my file. I am going to go to my home, payload.php, open, and upload. As you can see, sorry, it's not a valid file. Only allowed are PNG, JPG, and GIF. So, how do I get around this? Well, the simplest solution and the stupidest solution is more often than not the correct solution. And that is, we are simply going to rename the file to payload.php.png. Just double extension on it. Oops. Nah, what the hell did I just do? .png. Just put a double extension on it. Boom. Now, if you actually want to go there and look at what we did, it's going to look like nothing. This cannot be opened because it's not a proper text or picture file. But the extension is all we need to trick this stupidly configured website into believing that it is. So I'm going to browse, and I am going to click on my now double extension payload, open it, and upload the image. Uploading, please wait. This file has been uploaded to /uploads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first set up a listener here. Because the reverse shell basically says, instead of me connecting to you, you are going to connect back to me. The reason why that is prevalent is because a lot of things, if they know, a lot of machines and firewalls especially like to check things coming in, making sure the things coming in are not bad. What they don't really do is they trust the inside inherently. So they're not going to be like, oh, let me see if the inside is trying to connect with the outside, we'll let them do that. This is going to just mean that it's trusted inherently and should work. So I'm going to listen. The V just stands for verbose, meaning I'm going to get output, and this P stands for the port, which is the 4444. And as you see, it's in /uploads. So I am going to go to uploads / now I have to run the file. Because if I enter here, it's gonna no. But I have to actually specify the file. So I'm gonna go payload.php.png. The second I hit enter here, you should see something here on the left side. Oh my god, I forgot to hit enter. This actually never started. There we go. Now when I refresh this page, wow, look at that. Connect, we connected successfully, and I have a shell. To make it a bit more interactive, I am going to go Python-C. This is a little trick that is to spawn a more interactive shell. So I'm going to import the pty module. I'm going to go pty.spawn /bin/bash, just like that. Then not much is going to visually change, but it's a more interactive shell. It's better to work with. There you go. You see, we went from sh to bash here, but it's a lot better. So if I first figure out who am I? I am Apache. If I ls to see what's in my current directory, we don't have much here. If I ls view all hidden stuff, we don't have much here. I can see what's in the website directory though. If I go to cd/var, ls there, got all this kind of stuff. I can cd into www again. Oops. Oh no. Shoot. Quit. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to set the listener again because I messed up. And just hit enter here. Boop. And now I'm back here. And I'm going to cd/var/www. OS here. And this is what is on that website. If I cat the HTML, oh, that's the directory. All right, cd HTML. Now it's there. These are all of the, as you can see, these are the directories: the beer, cola, fristy, images, which was one of them. We didn't go there, and cc, and robots.txt, and the actual index.html of the website. So that's all the. But if we go back here, I always like seeing text files. They're easy to read, and challenges like this, they're probably what you're looking for. So notes.txt. You don't actually need to find this one, but it's always nice to do so. Notes.txt, and it just says, it's a note from some guy named Jerry saying, hey, easy, your home directory is a mess, go clean it up, just don't delete the important stuff. So from reading that, we don't get much information. We know that easy has a shitty home directory, I guess, but whatever. So that's cd/home. Let's see what users are on here. We got admin, easy peasy, and some guy named Fristygod. Alright, whatever. But let's go into easy peasy. He's the guy who we logged in with in the admin portal. And he's also the guy who was mentioned in that note. That's OS here. Let's see what we got here. We got a lot here. A lot of these just look like normal commands. So why he has them here, I don't know. These should just be normal commands. But I do see another notes.txt. And again, another sort of breadcrumbs leading you in the right direction. But, you know, it's fun. Easy. I made it possible for you to do some automated checks. But I did only allow you to visit, or I'll only allow you access to the user bin system binaries. I did, however, copy a few extra often needed commands to my home directory: chmod, df, cat, echo, ps, grep, egrep. So you can use those from home/admin. Don't forget to specify the full path for each binary. Just put a file called run this in temp. Each line one command. The output goes to the file cron result in temp. It should run every minute with my account privileges. Alright. I'm assuming Jerry is the Fristleaks guy or the admin, but I don't really know. I also don't really care. All I know is that he has some sort of elevated permissions that Easy does not have. And this note actually gives us a lot of information. So we know that we can run all system binaries, and we can do so from home admin, as well as some often commands like this. Often used commands like this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to echo again /home/admin/chmod. So what I'm basically doing here is I'm going to explain all the commands as I go. So I'm using one of the often needed commands, chmod, which is to use to modify the permissions of a file. And I'm using it from the home/admin user directory. So this is the admin user, and I'm using his command chmod. I'm going to add 777, which is all unlimited permissions to everyone. And I'm going to do so to the /home/admin directory. You can probably see what I'm doing here now. And I'm going to put this into /temp/run this. So basically, again, what I did here is I'm modifying the permissions to the admin user's home directory for unlimited, just all permissions for everyone, just so I have easy access to it now. I am putting this whole command into a file called run this in the temp directory, which will run every minute with his account privileges. So when I hit enter here, and then I cd into /temp, right, ls. We have two things here. We have run this and cron result. If I cat cron result, as you can see here, it's executing home admin, and it's making this directory unlimited permissions using the chmod command. I don't know why I say schmod. It just looks like it should be pronounced schmod, but whatever. But now I can cd into the /home/admin directory with no restrictions, like an OS. This is where things get a little interesting. So we have some things here, and the ones that really catch my eye is we have some Python scripts, and we have two text files. cronjob.py is just probably the thing we just used for the cron result and making that run every minute in the temp directory. If I cat it, we can probably confirm that. Yep. It's just saying we're writing a file called cron result. Like, this is what I just did, and this is the script that does that. So I don't actually need this. What I do need, though, is this crypt pass. And I am going to cat crypt pass.py and see exactly what this is doing. Alright. They're importing some modules here. Base64, codecs, and sys. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking a string and we are then encoding the string in base64. We are then reversing the string and doing a rotation 13. So rotating every character 13 places. What I have to do is I have to decode the strings. And what strings are we going to use? We're going to use cryptid pass and the who is your god now.txt. So if I cat those, at this. So this string was generated using the script. And so was this one, the who is your god now. So cat who is your god now.txt. This string as well was made putting plain text into the string variable here and running this. So I have to do some reverse engineering to make a script that'll undo this process. And so I am going to make a file. I'm going to call it decrypt.py. What I like to do is I'm taking my time here. I'm reading this right now. So I'm actually gonna keep that open. No, I can't. I'm gonna have to. What can I do here? You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to figure out how. I'm trying to think of what I did before to reverse this. So I'm gonna first what I'm gonna do is I'm going to why is this not working? There we go. Touch decrypt.py. So this will make the file without just putting me into a text editor immediately, so I have time to think. I'm actually going to open up some notepad here. It's called mousepad. There we go. Leafpad, mousepad, notepad. It's all the same thing. Whatever. And so what I'm thinking of doing is import base 64 codecs and sys. I'm going to define decode string. Let's just put ing here to make it easy to tell. And I'm going to do this. So I'm going to say, I basically just want to undo this. So I want to codecs dot decode string, oops, yes, string colon -1, and also do the rotation 13. And then I want to return plain, oh, I want to say plain text equals, or is assigned, base 64 dot decode of, I actually have to assign a new variable here, so I have to say flipped. I'll say that. So decode flipped b64 dot b64 decode, just like that. All right, flipped, and then return the plain text. And I'm going to put another thing here, and I'm going to say result equals decode string sys.arg v1. I'm hoping that this is going to work, because I have to copy all this over again. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to vim the decode.py file. That was some interesting errors. I never got that before, but can I paste? I can. That did not take everything for some reason. What is going on here? I also spelled sys, but I didn't hear. That's odd. I actually can't get out of this. What the hell? I'm hitting escape. I know how to exit Vim. Damn it. Shoot. What the hell is going on here? What the heck? I'm gonna have to spawn a whole new terminal. That is odd. Do my listener again. I don't have to do everything again. I already modified the permissions for everything, so it should just be a clean sweep. Just go cd/home/admin os. Now I'm going to mousepad decrypt.py. No? Okay, so how the hell do I get this in there? I can't use Vim. Oh, I can Nano, probably. Damn it, it did the same thing. That's probably not going to let me exit. But I can probably paste the stuff in there and have it look normal. Okay, so it looks normal. Can I control O to save? No, I cannot. I probably can't do that to exit either. So how the fuck? Sorry, I'm trying to think of how I could get that in there in a easy sort of way. Because I can't use any editor. This is so odd. Yeah, I'm gonna have to X out of this terminal as well. At least I have an easy, yeah, like I said, at least I have an easy sort of way to get back to where I was. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Oh, this is gonna suck so much. Alright, so I have to echo. Oh man. Right? Hold on. If I do echo -H, does it have any options? Not that I can see. Oh, I have to spawn a better shell. Hold on. Python-C import pty.spawn /bin /bash. Okay. Now if I echo -H. No. I'm actually going to open another instance of terminal. And I'm going to see if this terminal, it should. There we go. So I'm going to have to use some sort of a I don't even know if this is going to work. If it doesn't work, I'll have to cut it out. If it does work, though, I'm a genius. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm gonna try it without. Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna try it without first. Actually, no, I'm not. Oop. Oh shit! I can't go back. Fuck. All right. Wait. What the fuck? Damn it. Alright, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to verify that what I was doing was even... Man. I go again. If dash E is in effect. Damn it, I didn't use dash E. So that was not going to work anyway. Okay. Echo dash E. Not PTY. Base 64. I'm going to have to cut this now because it's getting way too long. I do too. No typos because I can't go back. I can backspace, but I can't like use the arrow keys to go back. Oops. I'm gonna send that to decrypt.py. Please work. Oh, hold on. Okay. Cat decrypt.py. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? It screwed me out of my everything. Oh, and I went out of Mozilla. Oh my god, I'm just all over the place right now. Oh my god. Alright, it worked. It worked. It worked. It went exactly the way I wanted it to go. So now I have to OS again. I'm going to start with the cryptid pass.txt. So I'm going to cat cryptid pass.txt. I'm going to take this, copy selection, and I want to Python decrypt.py, paste that here. Oh my god. It's not working because this is not in actual quotations. I can't edit it, can I? What? Do I don't have mouse pad, do I? Nope. What the fuck? I can't grab it back. What in the hell? To save me time, I'm gonna come back up here. Copy all this again. Go into here. Oh wait, I have it right here. And delete all this. I don't need it anymore. Control V, paste it. Change this into a different type of that. So I'm going to use the double ones instead. Now just copy all this. And go and just paste and hit enter. Now if I cat decrypt.py, there we go, rot 13's in thing. So now if I go Python decrypt.py, oh no. Alright, decrypt.py, get the this thing and paste it right there. It didn't work. It didn't not work. It just didn't do anything. Instead of using return, I'm going to use print though. That might, yeah, that's going to do it. I'm going to use print. Just like that. So now, hopefully, oh man, Python decrypt.py, this stupid password. There we go. Oh, and it worked. And it worked. Let's go. All right. So we get this is also password 123. And if I do now the same thing for, let's OS real quick. Cat, who is your god now? Dot text. for this, right here, I copy selection, and I do the same Python decrypt.py. I'm sick of saying that word. That. Let there be Fristy. All right. Okay. Just so I don't forget these passwords, we have this one. And we have this one. Oh, you're kidding. Alright, well, we do have that one too. Let's put that right there. I'm gonna have to restart this again. Very annoying sometimes when you're having to deal with these reverse shells because they are very fragile, as you can tell. Let's minimize it. And now I can cd/home, and we can see our users here. We have admin, easy peasy, and frisky god. Just for the sake of everything, I'm going to try to switch user to admin. Must be in a TTY. Okay, so I'm going to try the Python trick. So Python sc import pty pty.spawn /bin /bash. Alright, now if I try to switch user to admin, it will let me. I'm going to try both of these. I'm going to try this one. And that was it. Wow, okay. That was easy. Alright, so now if I just hit cd like this, I'm in the admin's home directory here. And I'm going to do something called sudo-l. So sudo is the command you put in. You told me to use it earlier when I was doing like net discover and stuff like that. It's the command you do when you want to run something with root privileges. What sudo-l does is it lists if the current user has anything they can run using sudo. So if they have any permissions to run anything as an elevated user. So the admin, paste it again. User admin may not run sudo on localhost. So I'm going to try to switch user again to FristyGod, the other guy. And this is the password for him. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. So that's first ls what he has. Oops, I have to cd into his home directory. It's ls here. He's got nothing. But if I sudo-l, he can do something. All right. He, user FristyGod, may run the following commands on this host: /var FristyGod.secret admin stuff do com. All right. So, what is that? I have no idea what that is. So I'm actually going to cd to that here. I'm just going to copy it. It's easy to copy. Instead I have to type it all out. Awesome. Now I'm there. And there's only do-com in there. Alright. So now I'm going to cat whatever do-com is and see what it does. That gives me little to no information. So let's just try to run it, right? Let's just go do-com. Oh, I have to put a / before it so it knows I'm trying to run it. Let's see what it does. Nice try, but wrong user. Right, because if I do sudo this out again to bring up the thing, I have to be Fristy. So sudo actually has, I'm going to pull up another terminal just so I can show you, what I have to do. I fix this one. Yeah, I'll have to save that. Alright, so let's bring up my terminals here. Alright. So I can quit out of this, and if I man sudo, bring up some switches. So, yeah. Sudo -u means you can specify a user to execute that as. So I can go sudo -u. I have to be this Fristy user. /do_com. The usage, so I got an error. Improper usage. The usage has to be /program name terminal command. So that makes this hella easy to get elevated privileges, because I'm already using elevated privileges. Remember, sudo runs it as a root user. And who can run, so I'm using sudo as FristyGod, who can run this command as a root user. So I'm specifying that I'm running the program with the /u switch under the Fristy user. /do_com. And now I want to specify a command that will make me root privileged. What better command than to just spawn another bash shell? Because if I'm using root privileges to spawn a shell, in theory, it should be a root shell. Oh, something happened. If I do who am I? Who am I? I am root. I'm not Groot, I am root. If I do ID again, you can see UID 0, root. If I do an OS here, oops, I have to go into CD, OS. Let me just print working directory real quick. I'm in var www. No, I want to go into the /root directory. There we go. Remember, root privilege. I am now root, the most elevated user you can be in any of the system. I have unlimited privileges. I can do whatever I want at this point. Let me just list the root directory. And there's one text file there, Fristileaks _secrets. Fristileaks _secrets .text. There we go. Congratulations on beating Fristileaks. I wonder if you can beat it. I wonder if you beat it in the maximum 4 hours it's supposed to take. I wonder if that 4 hours is because of all the damn typos and errors, because you can't use any text editors and all that kind of shit. A shout out to the people of Twitter and vulnhub. And here's the flag. You know you love Fristy. So there we go. So that's my proof that I beat this box. This walkthrough was showing you how I beat the box, my thought process of going through it, and honestly some struggles. Because remember, I already beat this box. I beat this box like yesterday. And I'm doing it again today, and I still messed up so much. So it's fun to go through it again, because you forget things, and some things, especially like putting the Python command and having to do it through echo, is super annoying. Like this right here. Super annoying right here. So this was the one that actually worked right here. Super annoying. But hey. It eventually worked. We eventually got the flag. And you can see how fun a box like this is. You go through, you get the hints as you go. You can see what I mean. Like, this box felt like more of a puzzle than it did like an actual hacking sort of scenario. Like, was I using technical things? Yeah. Did I have to know Python? Yes. To an extent. Did I have to know simple commands to switch users, list directories, and read files? Yeah. Did I need anything more advanced than that? No. It making this an easy level box and listing it as one is exactly, I think, fits exactly what it should be. There was no advanced sort of stuff. The hardest thing that there was, in my opinion, figuring out how to write the Python script to undo what it was doing. But it was pretty clear with what it was doing. If I, again, go and cd to the /home/admin, again, and I cat, or let me just list the files again. Yep, and I cat cryptpass.py. I think it's pretty clear it's what it's doing. You're importing these modules, and you don't have to know what these modules do. But if you read the Python script and you really sort of understand what it's doing, it's pretty easy to reverse it. So what you're doing here is you're making another function, and we're calling this function, it can be anything, we're calling it encode string, and it takes a string as an input. What you're then doing is you're making another variable called the base64 string. You're using the base64 module to encode the string in base64. So you're basically encoding the string in base64 and saving it to this variable. Then you are using the codex module to encode the string backwards using the rotation 13 as well, and you're just returning that. So that's the end of that. That's what it returns. And this just says that the argument that you use after you say Python3 to file name, and whatever you put after that, it's gonna be taking into this argument, and it's gonna use that. And then here's the encode string. It's calling this function. I'm explaining this very complicated, but basically, once again, it's just saying it takes this argument, it runs it through this function, and it returns it encoded backwards rotation 13 base64. And the file I wrote, so cat decrypt.py, and I spelled that wrong. It looks the exact same, doesn't it? I'm just doing the same thing backwards. I called it decode string. I could have called it whatever I want. I'm taking the string from the sys argument again. I'm flipping it. So I'm basically doing this in reverse. I am decoding the base64 string. Well, if you reverse something that's reversed, you get it forwards again. And because I'm decoding rotation 13, I'm going back, not forwards. And then I'm just taking it out of base64, and I'm just printing it to the screen. So it's the exact same thing, but backwards. It takes a little bit of thinking, and you have to know the syntax and stuff of Python, but for the most part, it's not that, I'm not going to say not that special, but it's not that complicated. But when you come down to like what you actually do here. If I wanted to do pseudocode and Google how to do that, that would be fine too. Using Google in these things is not cheating at all. This is what you're made to do. But essentially is that. So I think that was the hardest part of this, is just making the Python script and have it do what you want it to do, and not being able to actually use a proper notepad to type it in, that kind of thing, and having to do it in sort of like a one-liner is very interesting. I've never really had to do that before. But yeah, other than that, switching users, reading files, looking at the inspect element of a website, not that much, but it's still a really cool box. It's a very good entry-level box, and it does a lot. So that is the video on that. I don't even know how long it is at this point. Let me actually, does it say? Damn, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. I think it's time to stop it. Alright.